Hey guys, my name is Sinwin. This is Peter Smith. He's been a really long time friend of mine. In this video, we're going to talk to you about his Raptor and his financials and such like that. Peter is about to get rid of this car, and you'll find out why. But this is actually one of my favorites that he's ever had, and he's had really awesome cars. So I mean, I really love that he invited me over and we are doing this today because he's getting rid of it in like what, a week or so.
Yeah.
So a lot of the other cars you've had, you've either bought or traded in or got or whatever. How did you acquire this car?
So this car,
this truck.
so this truck, I had a CTSV before it, a Gen 2 CTSV.
I remember that thing was sick.
Mildly modified, had it, and I drove one. I drove a Raptor down the street because there's a Ford dealership just down the road from my house, and I drove it, and then after driving it, I was like, "Oh crap!" And so it didn't make any sense. It drives fast for a big pickup truck, and I just kind of got hooked on it. I always wanted one because I thought they looked cool. So scoured the webs. Everybody was selling them well above sticker price, and well, I sell cars for a living, so I'm not about to pay another dealer's markup. So from there, it was found the deal of a lifetime. It was about 10 grand below retail. I guess it had been sitting because at the time it was a weird color. It was gray and it had orange stripes on the hood. Just no, I got rid of that. But got it, and then ever since, probably my favorite vehicle I've owned today.
You've always had just one profession, and will you tell the viewers what profession that is?
Well, I work any car lover's dream, I guess. I sell cars for a living. I've sold Fords, Hyundais, which was horrible. Chevrolets, so I got to be hands-on with Corvettes for a little over a year, and now I sell Acuras, so I get to sell some luxury brand vehicles and play around with NSXs when they come in.
I was about to say, you guys got an NSX?
We had 3.
That's awesome.
Then of course they come in and get serviced, and so you get to look at them.
With this truck, do you feel like you made the best financial decision, like as opposed to your other cars or vehicles or anything like that before?
Not really.
Not really?
Mainly just because it's so expensive. That is it the right financial decision? I'm not paying any more than I did on my last cars.
Yeah, I remember you were saying that you were paying like a lot more for insurance on the CTSV as opposed to this thing, but just the car payment kind of made up for it.
Yeah, it made sense, but it didn't. Like, this was a kind of a grown-up decision in the sense that I have something that's actually useful versus having a 2-door car that can barely fit 2 people in it.
But can go really fast. So kind of I mean, this truck goes really fast. I mean, it's got what, 400 and some horsepower, and like
450
and like 550 something,
510 torque.
510.
Yeah. So it makes
a lot.
Sports car power in a ginormous almost 3-ton
and it makes the right
truck.
sounds too. It makes the turbo noises.
Yeah.
It has a really good exhaust note. I mean, it's not like 4GT or anything, but it's really like good sounding for a truck. And I mean, people expect a V8 sound out of this thing, and I mean, they don't get it. But then again, I like slightly higher pitch sounding cars anyways, than like all the V6s and whatnot. So I mean, just whatever people like. I mean, that's just their personal opinion.
I think my favorite part about the sound is the turbos. They're noisy. I mean, they are rowdy, loud turbos. So you just drive around just going whoosh,
whoosh, whoosh,
everywhere. So,
and that's stock too.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't have an exhaust on it or anything.
That's insane. I heard how loud it was, and I mean, dude, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
If you were to not have this particular car payment, like $1,000 every single month to go into this truck, what would you do? What would you have done with that money if you didn't have this?
Probably travel a lot more, honestly. I would probably go out and experience more of life and have a less stressful way of living versus like, panicking.
I've known you for quite some time now, and I've seen you go from dumping every single paycheck into a car to now where you don't do that, and you still have a $70,000 truck. Yeah. So what do you want to give the viewers, like what tips and tricks you can give the viewers to allow them to not be in debt and just kind of accomplish what you have and just being able to do what you do now as opposed to before?
So how I kind of really got started in all this was, of course, I bought a Jeep at one point, sold it, and doubled what I paid for it. So that's kind of how I got to where I'm at now. Is I was buying and selling cars and just turning a profit in a sense. But then in turn, of course, I'd had to finance some things to then be able to then sell it and make money, then do this and do that. So what I would do, and what I really recommend, is while paying cash for everything is phenomenal. You go left.
You can.
Yeah, you can. You're pretty set if you can have good credit, because then you can help avoid being just buried in high income, in high tax. You're paying so much interest on this, so much interest on this, and I think that's where a lot of people get in horrible debt, is they decide to buy a car and pay 25% interest. Now, of course, if you buy a car and your credit's awful and that's the only way you can
but
get
you're
to
working
work
towards something,
right, you're gonna have to walk before you can run. So it's been a matter of really knowing when to buy, just keep going, and knowing when to hold back.
What is your dream car right now?
See, like, I've done the same thing you did. I went from this car to a more expensive car, and now I'm here. And I told myself, and I even told my girlfriend, the only thing I would upgrade out of this was a G-Wagon, and she absolutely abhors them. I mean, hates them. She's like, it's a box. I'm like, I know, it's got side exhaust.
That's the point.
So, I have too many dream cars to count, and I feel like that's a really car person thing to say.
Yeah,
is
you never have one dream car.
No, it's like, what occasion do I want this dream car to be for? Because right now, if I were to pick, say, a two-door coupe that's not, a full-blood sports car, it would probably be a DBS, Superleggera. I think that car looks sick. It makes insane amounts of horsepower.
Yeah, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a twin-turbo V12.
Which car/cars that you wish you never got rid of?
Well, I've had 9.
I've caught a few in the last few years I've known you.
4 or 5 in the last 4 years. So
yeah.
I mean, it's an addiction. One I got rid of because it was the dumbest thing ever.
Is that the Civic?
Yeah, I had that 93 EG Civic with almost 300 horsepower naturally aspirated motor in it. So it was barely drivable. A car that I needed to get rid of, because that was the one I dumped all my money into. I mean, I wasn't exactly doing the most lucrative job in the world. I was a ladies' shoe salesman. I got paid weekly. So I was like, ooh, money. I need a throttle body. So that's how I ended up with that.
Thank you so much for watching. We've had so much fun today. We've literally been driving around for about 2 hours, and I've had to do so many retakes because Peter won't stop making me laugh, and just stupid stuff and just dumb people on the road. But it really helps to get an insight into multiple different people's heads and the way that everything works, and just how he's a car salesman and how he sees the back end of everything, and how we don't normally get to see that or hear that or directly hear that from somebody. So it's really, really good to get something along the lines of that. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you like it, please share it with all your friends, subscribe, etc. This is Automotive Economics. We'll see you guys next time.
Booyah!